All right, here we are, parallel frequencies, Just Blane,
Important
Coco.
Earl. Yeah, I'm dressed all in my cozy hoodie pajamas here today. That's a full hoodie dress. So, what are we doing here with your outfit today, Blaine? What is this? Pajamas, cozy? What is it?
No, this is just casual, I guess, like,
This is just how you walk around the house normally?
wouldn't that be funny? No, I'm like about to sweat in here, but it was, I was kind of cold, so I put it on. But I'm in the festive mood,
Yeah.
It's, we're almost to Christmas, and I think I just now realized it's actually December. So, the Christmas lights came out, the movies started hitting. I
We're
brought out the
wrapping up our
outfits.
year. Did you get a chance to look at your music wrap up for the year?
Apple sent me mine yesterday. Your year-end review. I'm an Apple person. Can't help it. Sorry. I got a Spotify year-end review also. Now check this out. My Apple year-end review the last couple years, it's usually gangster rap at the top. It's like Future. You might have some West Coast stuff. I think it was Kendrick Lamar one year, This year, it could be some DJ mixes too. I love DJ mixes. Fortet, that's my guy. Fred again, I love hearing some of his live sets, the Boiler Room sets. Look at me shouting out all this stuff.
Yeah.
Apple didn't pay me. They didn't pay me for that. Maybe I should ask them for some kickback there. But this year, you would never guess what my number one song was.
Number one song for the year. Is it Baby Shark?
No, but that's a great guess because it's in the same realm, same ballpark. Jack Black's Lava Chicken from Minecraft movie was my favorite.
Yeah, makes sense.
Every time I got the music on or in the car, from the back seat, I hear Lava Chicken.
That's what I was gonna go for. Yeah, when you have kids, it totally throws off your whole playlist for the year. Because mine was Geometry Dash something such and such. My kids asked to play all the time.
Can you guess my number two song for the year? Lava Chicken extended version. That was the number Jack Black's Lava Chicken from Minecraft, the extended version. That's number two.
Number two, of course.
But you know who my actual artist of the year was? If you don't count Jack Black Jack Black was a genius, by the way, because that song is only like 30 seconds long or so. So it's on repeat. He's getting numerous plays. I don't know how many plays that song got. But
you're not going to get a debate from me. Jack Black is a genius. I'm a huge fan.
I love Jack Black. He's a genius for many more reasons than just making that song 30 seconds long.
Yep.
Here's my number one artist, though, that was not kid related. It was by me. Bad Bunny. Yeah, it was. It was Bad Bunny. I know that he got announced for the Super Bowl halftime show later in the year. Maybe August-ish, July, August, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of controversy started. He was probably already my artist of the year before that. And I got something to say about the people out there who are like, oh, let's get an English speaker singing the halftime show. No. Bad Bunny was my most listened to artist because I don't speak Spanish, but when I listen to his music, I feel it.
Yep, it's music. It's a universal language, folks. We don't need to know all the lyrics and the meaning. We can feel it.
You feel it. And he's got like his passion, and you don't even know you don't have to know what he's singing, rapping about, whatever you want to call it, to know that it's a story. Like something's being told. You can feel the passion. You can feel the desperation. You can feel the love. Like it's all there in his music. That Super Bowl halftime show, when they announced that, I was already a fan. I was already on board.
Oh, yeah.
He is going to crush it. I'll tell you this. Put it down now. Mark this clip. He's going to crush that halftime show and put a lot of people out there to shame. A lot of the ones out there that were making this a whole controversy are going to be the same ones that won't be able to stop moving. I guarantee.
Yeah.
That's going to be them.
Yep.
That's going to be
them. I got no
So,
problems with that at all. I don't even really watch Sporty Ball, but I'll watch that halftime show. I'll be there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you. Get ready.
So let me ask you a question as we're getting ready for the year to wrap up. As you said, have you ever gotten a real Christmas tree? I mean, what was the tradition in your household growing up? An authentic, real tree.
Well, we had the traditions growing up in the house of real trees for a while. I lived out in the farm, so we'd go to the Christmas tree lot, get a real one. But it was always something about that because you never quite got it out of the house in time. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But you never get them quite out of the house in time. And by that I mean they die or it starts falling off. That stuff never comes out of the carpet.
I know.
Ever.
Such a mess.
So we did switch over to the fake tree. But let me just say, I got a story for you about a real tree, and I'm going to incriminate myself a little bit. I won't name names. I won't say where I was. But let's just say that we get back from a Thanksgiving break sometime in school, in college. And my roommates and I got back a little early. We decided we wanted a Christmas tree. Where do you get a Christmas tree when the lots aren't open yet?
Side of a highway?
Yard. Somebody's yard.
Oh my God.
So we went, and there's a line of trees. They look beautiful. To this day, where this place is, there's a tree missing in that because me and my buddy cut that thing down, put it in the back of his truck, and we hauled it back to the place. And that's the last real tree I probably ever had. I don't know if I didn't get one again because maybe I felt like it'd be cursed after doing that, but I'm a different person now, folks. I'll tell you, maybe I'll donate a tree this year to make up for that.
Makes a good story. Good
Yeah,
story.
What about you? Real tree, fake tree, what?
Yeah, I'm with you. My dad growing up was a bit of a clean freak. He liked a clean carpet. He liked things tidy, and real trees and clean carpet, that's rough. So fake tree was eventually our solution to that problem, and we've had one ever since too, I think. But I remember vividly going to a tree farm when I was I was probably 3 or 4. And I remember us going to that farm and picking out a tree, and I remember them dragging it on the ground, and I saw a nest pop out. And I thought that was really cool, so I pick it up and I'm like, all right, that's cool. And we get it home. And my parents remember to this day, they mentioned it just the other day. They were like, we got that tree home and there was another nest with eggs still in it. So I think the, mama bird probably abandoned the nest at some point, but it got all the way into our house with a nest in it still. And I remember that. It's still in my core memories, developing minds, but made me think of that when we get to our movie today and the scene with the squirrel.
Oh.
That movie opens with them going out to get a tree, not just from a tree farm, but they're out there in the wilderness, trekking through snow. What movie am I talking about?
Christmas Vacation. It was on my mind the entire time you were telling that story right there. What year was that, Courtney? Because this might have been the inspiration for the opening scene of Christmas Vacation, although it couldn't have been because I'll tell you why in a minute. But when was it? That had to be 80s, right?
That'd be 89, possibly 90. So I was 4, maybe turning 5. Yeah.
Well, so it couldn't have been, you're not of the age to be the inspiration for Christmas Vacation. But if you haven't caught on out there yet, grab your eggnog and your asbestos gloves because today, right now, we're getting into the Griswold Family Christmas, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, a movie that proves if you string up enough lights, you can blind your neighbors and possibly, just possibly, summon NORAD at the same time. All right, like that's 25,000 lights or so, right? Like that's what happened. That's what they have in this movie.
Yeah, and that was the whole purpose of winter solstice. If you go back far enough before Christmas, it's about bringing back the light. Clark Griswold takes it very seriously, even to the point of being just like the husbands we all make fun of on the internet reels where, mom is over there going, hey, we've got company coming. We got to get the house clean. We got to get this done. And they're like busy working. They're like, help me. And cut to dad's on the roof shingling tiles or something. Like, what's dad doing? I want to shake him and be like, Clark, your wife needs help in the house. Real priorities here, guy. Come on.
And if this doesn't represent Christmas, I don't know what else will, except freezing your butt off in a pink turban and a fur coat while watching old home movies on a Super 8. because that's what Clark does in the attic, and one of my favorite scenes that we'll talk about near the end of this episode. This whole mess, though, and that's what I'm calling it, got started with John Hughes. If you don't know who John Hughes is, what are you doing, first of all? But I will tell you and not make you feel too much below. He did The Breakfast Club, Home Alone, and then this movie, Christmas Vacation, is based off of Christmas 59. It was a National Lampoon article, I believe. And, I mean, the attic scene itself is taken straight out of Christmas 59.
A little nod to that, yeah. In fact, I believe the video says Christmas 55, but when he pulls it out, it says Christmas 59 on the film. So
little Easter egg, little nod to the John Hughes original. Not a lot of people know that, I don't think. Maybe they do by now because this movie is 38 years old. I mean, that's
happy birthday.
Yeah, right? Yeah, but behind the scenes was a little bit maybe as chaotic as we saw on set, like in the movie. Because you have the whole thing about Chris Columbus, who was supposed to direct this bad boy. And you know the story there?
I've heard bits of it, yeah. I did some research.
Chevy Chase scared him off. That's about all you can say. He scared off Chris Columbus.
Yeah.
After 2 meetings of meeting this guy. And basically what happened then was a butterfly effect, because when Chris Columbus left that, John Hughes felt bad, and guess what? Home Alone. Here you go, Chris Columbus. So we wouldn't have got Kevin McAllister maybe without the 2 Chevy Chase meetings that ran off Chris Columbus.
Yeah, yeah. And at least they didn't have a fist fight, because I have heard of fellow actors working with Chevy Chase that have actually gotten into full-on fisticuff fights with him. So it could have been worse. But yeah, that tracks. The story
Chevy
tracks.
Chase, the man, the myth, the reason directors drink, like that's...
Yeah. Yeah. So I've heard. I've heard so. But, even John Hughes, I believe, has said that the stories, he didn't like doing sequels, and, he got writing credit for the vacation movies that he wasn't as involved in, just because he came up with the characters and that. But he said basically they were vehicles for Chevy Chase to do his thing. So you kind of get that feeling. But I think Christmas Vacation has a really good same vibe, same feel as the first vacation movie, I think.
That's a great point. In that first vacation movie, there's a bunch of vacation movies. How many are there?
Yeah, well, I mean, are you counting the newest installment, which Ed Helm plays Rusty and takes his own kids on the vacation? I don't know. I kind of see that as a separate.
I think so.
Installment,
I think that's
right?
separate too. Yeah, you're right. Maybe there's different iterations of the vacation movies. I mean, there's Vegas Vacation. You got George Papadou or whatever, Papadaccio or whatever.
Papadaccio. Yeah.
I love that. That's one of my favorites from all the National Lampoon stuff. That's one of my favorite characters, I guess. And he's a character inside of a character, basically. But back to Christmas Vacation. They filmed this thing in Burbank. That's got to be kind of hard, too. When you're doing all this snow and you're trying to make this a winter wonderland, but you're in Burbank, California.
Supposed to be Chicago, right? So they had to have the snow. They're trying to ship in snow from Colorado. Then real snow causes an issue of getting snow to Burbank.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Do you know, I got something. This could be right up your alley, because you are a self-proclaimed witch. You've got your own show, Practically Magic Podcast with a K. Practically Magic Podcast. Did you know that the house that they filmed at is the same one that Samantha used in Bewitched? That's her house. It's just decked out with 25,000 lights, and you couldn't tell that. It's because it's covered up. That's Samantha's house in Bewitched.
Yeah, I could do a whole What We're Watching Parallel Frequencies series on Bewitched alone. It's got a lot of thoughts about that, but I loved Bewitched. So, yeah, fangirl, witchy stuff, love it.
when was before we get into the casting, the characters and all that kind of stuff and get a little deeper, when was the first time you remember seeing this movie?
Christmas Vacation. Gosh, it feels like it's been like a visiting family member that comes around every holiday, kind of like Eddie.
Yeah.
I believe the movie itself to be there's no beginning to it in my life because it's just always been around. In fact, when we were watching it just the other day, and I mentioned yesterday's episode, we watched it this weekend. We can't watch it in our house without my dad showing up. I mean, even before he lived with us, it was like we'd start it and there would be my dad sitting on the couch watching with me. I associate Clark with my dad so much because I think that it's not only been watched in my house, all of the vacation movies watched in my house a lot growing up, but my dad quotes it all the time.
Yearly,
one of the most quoted,
round.
Yeah, year round in my house. Yeah.
Is your dad most like the Clark Griswold, you think? Or is he a different character from the movie?
That's a good question. Yeah, maybe a little Clark. I could see a little Clark in him. Yeah.
I think, I don't want to be the macho alpha male, but I think most males out there, and there you go, you heard me, most. I don't say all. I think most
all
males
men.
out there, yeah. I think most men it's almost like that Craig T. Nelson, Hayden Fox thing. We all got a little Hayden Fox in us. I think most men got a little bit of Clark Griswold in them. Not Chevy Chase per se, but Clark Griswold. We've got some of that. I think we've all got a little Cousin Eddie in us too.
Yeah. I get a lot of quotes from Cousin Eddie in our house. And most often, whoever's around, and if it's me, we're the ones getting called Clark. So whatever happens or whatever we're looking at, she's a beaut, Clark. Or, we get those quotes. We're called Clark in those instances.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
I
think every guy wants the Christmas holiday to go well, wants to provide something really memorable for their kids. I think that's maybe part of the Clark that comes out in all of us, right?
And you see it, he's stressed the whole time. He's waiting on a Christmas bonus. He's got all these real life things going on, but he's hopefully trying to pull together the most perfect Christmas you can. We all know that can't happen. Any family that's ever tried to have a perfect holiday, it ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like something's going to happen. Your drunk Uncle Eddie's going to do something. Somebody's going to mess up something. The dog's going to eat off the table. Who knows? Something's going to happen. You cannot plan the perfect family Christmas.
Yeah.
Even Chevy Chase on set, he actually broke bones for this movie. So
yeah,
this wasn't even perfect. Yeah. Like that's crazy to me. What an effort by him.
Full commitment. And I can't get away with saying that without mentioning that Beverly D'Angelo playing Ellen is, to me, the hero of this movie.
Yeah.
It might be centered around Clark. And, of course, it was, like you said, a vehicle for Chevy Chase to show his comedy and his brand of comedy in this movie. But I can't help but mention that Ellen is the one holding it all together. In one of the first scenes, she's the one who he has his hand glued to her hair. Do you remember in the bedroom scene? And she's kind of talking about, I just really don't want you to get your hopes up so much that you just get, disappointed. I know how you can be, Clark, that whole conversation. And then she's the one who just maintains that Zen chill that all of us wish we could have when things are going terribly wrong. And she kind of holds it together throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
She's my hero.
I think we saw quite a few of these people at FanX. We didn't actually speak to them, but from the three we saw, Randy Quaid, Chevy Chase, and Beverly, I'm going to say Beverly looked the most calm. And she looked like she was taking the most time with the people. And I don't know if it's just who she is or if she really just embraced this role so much that, maybe she's...
And I think she loved it. She kept coming back for it. And all the sequels, she was on board to do it again.
She was in every vacation movie.
Yeah.
She's the only one. Not only that, but the dog and the cat in the movie, that was her dogs and cats in real life.
That's right. Not the squirrel.
That's wild. Not the squirrel. not the
But the
squirrel.
cat and the dog. Yeah.
But I do. I think you're completely accurate with saying that Beverly D'Angelo, Ellen was the hero of the movie. But it was the mom. It was the mom. It was the wife in her. It was the whatever.
Willing to be there with Clark's antics. I mean, this is a dynamic we see in a lot of movies and TV shows. In fact, growing up as a little girl watching these things, it always made me a little cautious about who I marry and what role I play in that. Because I don't want to be the one who is holding it all together while your husband is just the idiot, right? Like Homer Simpson and Marge.
Oh.
You don't. I don't love that dynamic, and you just see it too much in sitcoms, movies, TV shows. You see it too much. But I mean, there's a sort of play upon the dynamic of these two both kind of. Well, she says it perfectly in the scene where she goes, "I don't know what to tell you, Audrey. It's Christmas and we're all in misery," while she smokes a cigarette.
Which is iconic. That's a very iconic part. Juliette Lewis as Audrey, a future Oscar nominee, by the way.
Yeah.
She was an Oscar nominee after this movie.
I love her.
You got another big hitter in here too, Johnny Galecki as Rusty. Mm-hmm. He went on to a highly successful career. It'd be hard to say who had the most success out of all of these people, but I'd have to put him up there in the top because of all the shows and stuff that he's been in, sitcoms and all that. He almost lost that role.
Fact,
you know this? Did you? Yeah.
I don't know if you were going to say this, but they play brother and sister in this movie. Kind of switched roles from the other movies in that in this movie it seems that Audrey is older when in fact she was younger in some of the other vacation movies. So interesting to point that out. It's almost like it stands alone on its own. It's like a different universe or something where Audrey and Rusty are different. But the actors that you mentioned, Johnny Galecki and Juliette Lewis playing brother and sister in this movie, they actually play boyfriend and girlfriend in the reboot of Roseanne, the Connors, when they rebooted that series. So as I'm watching it again now, I'm like, oh, interesting choice there. I wonder how they felt about that, the actors.
Yeah, I like that. And Johnny Galecki almost lost that role to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Can you imagine what that movie would have looked like?
Yeah. Imagine Leo having to empty out the RV toilet like that, like, I guess he could have done it. I mean, he did some other movies, and this was in the 80s, so sure.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Well, Juliette Lewis and Leonardo DiCaprio were in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, and I think she did an excellent job in that role as well. So deserves the Oscar for sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about Randy Quaid, Cousin Eddie. He is iconic in this movie. Lines, like you said, there's shitters full. We'll say it because that's what it is. That line is said year-round by any and everybody, I would assume. And I've seen it everywhere. There's memes of it, and it just gets bigger every year. It feels like it is taken over. Cousin Eddie himself, just the spirit of him. Like, we all know a Cousin Eddie. And like we said on yesterday's show, if you don't know one, you might be him. So take a look in the mirror.
So, maybe think about that.
I know Randy Quaid himself went off the deep end. I mean, I'll just say that. He did. Maybe, you know what? I'll take it back. He went off the deep end to some, but he might have actually been speaking the truth to others in some of the ways that he was believing was going on about him. He had celebrity paparazzi stalkers around him and stuff. I remember this. But maybe he was Cousin Eddie for real. I don't know. You know how I am about getting to thinking that actors are actually who they play on their shows.
Yeah, it's one of those things where do you separate the art from the artist, or you can appreciate the art without appreciating the artist, maybe. One of those situations where you can go, well, he has his own life and his own opinions and the things that he does in his own time, but it doesn't change the fact that he did an excellent job playing Eddie, and we love Eddie, and Eddie has some great lines. What's your favorite Eddie line? What's your most memorable Eddie line?
Shitter's full. It's got to, and I know that's the easiest topic, but it's got to be Shitter's full because, I mean,
my dad likes to quote the one about the plastic plate in his head and replacing it because every time Catherine would start up the microwave. He'd piss himself and forget his name for a few
forget his
days or
name.
something like that. That's a
He's
pretty
got
good
it.
one.
He's got a ton. You know what? We'll get
Yeah.
to some more of the lines in just a few minutes, but I don't want to pass up talking about Aunt Bethany, Mae Kestel.
Oh, my favorite.
Betty Boop. She played the
Yeah,
voice of Betty Boop. This was
100%.
her last film role right here. This is the last time she does anything. So when she wraps the cat up, you're watching animation history in a box. Like it's, you know.
She's old, rusty. She doesn't have a lot of money, so she just wraps stuff up around her house. You know, I get it. I think if I was that old, I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just going to say that I'm going to do that. When I get to that age, people better expect they're going to get my old stuff for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean,
That's going to happen.
I may not be far off from it. Like, just out of laziness.
She's my absolute
you know?
favorite.
Just
Favorite character, and she does such a good job. I laugh out loud every time she does the prayer at dinner, or at the end when she's on the rockets, red glare. Perfect dementia humor there.
You're already crossing into the scenes. There are so many iconic scenes and quotes and all that kind of stuff that are from this movie. Literally, you could ask 15 people what's your favorite part, and they'll tell you something different. Like it's one of those movies.
Yeah.
The lighting ceremony. Like the lighting ceremony is that's all
Yeah.
you could do this to somebody and they could probably guess what you're imitating. Like it's one of those.
Yeah,
But
insurance companies use this movie as a reference point to say, hey, make sure your house is properly insured. You don't want so many house fires happening around Christmas time. And then this movie is always brought up with all the plugins on top of each other, layered one after another. And like just that one light is turning all of it on.
It's, and you know what? Most people have been there when they set everything up and they plug in and it doesn't come on. And you know that frustration. You see it and you feel bad for him. You're like, all
that
and
work.
then he loses. My favorite part about that scene is when he loses it and kicks the hell out of that Santa and it goes flying. That plastic. I lose it right there. Every time I see it, I lose it.
Relate to him. And that was when he had broken his pinky and he was actually in pain. So he was kicking that Santa and also in physical pain. So it fueled that fire.
Yeah.
Method acting right there.
Yeah. What do you think about what's your favorite quote from I guess the whole movie in general?
Well, I was gonna say my favorite Eddie quote was definitely serious Clark.
Yeah.
When he mentions Santa and he's telling the kids about Santa's magic, it's making it all magical for the kids. And he's like, Santa's going to be here soon. We better, wrap this up. Whatever he says. And Eddie's just, you serious, Clark? That's my favorite, Eddie.
I think he says, hey, kids, somebody just spotted Santa over something. Are you serious, Clark?
Serious, Clark? Yeah, again, one of my dad's favorite, but that's my favorite. What gets mentioned all the time. Other than that, well, I did want to mention that Mae Questel playing Aunt Bethany was not the only voice actress in this movie. Miriam Flynn, who plays Catherine, was also voice actress in Looney Tunes, and I was excited to see that she played Ma in Babe. That's a classic movie from my childhood, so love that. I also think she does a great job in this movie. I mean, she's a little bit on the side of things, but when he cuts the turkey and it explodes like that gray, dry, that exaggeration of the dry turkey is fantastic. And she bursts into tears. That to me is comedy gold right there. And she does an excellent job. But why is it that the holidays, not just the turkey itself, but the holidays in general, this is what I want to point out about Ellen's character and Catherine's character, is that the holidays' success or failure hangs so heavily on the women. Whether it's going to be magical for everybody, it's going to be all the feel goods of the holiday season are gonna be. I've seen it 1,000 times, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times more. It's not magic of the holidays. Do you know what the magic of the holidays is? Do you know what it
What
really
is?
is? It's moms. It's the moms. If you want to know where that magic comes from, it's because moms are working their little tushies off in the kitchen and shopping and baking and doing all the things to make sure that it is the magic that you see. So I will never not say that.
And
They're dead.
that's an incredible point. That even goes back to what you said about Beverly earlier, Ellen in the movie, and all that with anybody. But you're so right. I wonder what that is. Is it just because it's the Hollywood formula? That's how it works? Or is it
It was. It
something
was at
else?
the time. I'd like to see that women are not just getting their due diligence as far as comedy roles go, getting an opportunity to show their that they get to be the funny one. And Beverly D'Angelo shows us this in this movie when she is the one who improvised the crotch grab when the
That's
SWAT
right.
team comes in, right? That wasn't scripted. She decided that if she was going to put her hands on Clark anyway, she might as well grab his crotch.
I wonder how many times, and because I'm just going to say this because I'm glad we didn't get to her at FanX, but I wonder how many times she gets asked to take that photo with people. Because I was going to ask, and it wasn't sexual. I wasn't going to tell her to grab my crotch. She could have just put her hand in front of it, but I wonder if she ever gets asked
I
to
bet she
recreate that.
does. I bet she does. And then maybe she's thinking to herself, should have never done it.
Should have never done that.
Should have never done it. Now I got to do it at every single photo opportunity because everybody's always going to ask forever and ever.
My favorite scene from this movie is the attic scene. I think it is pure gold, like we said earlier. The whole movie is pure comedy gold, but this is the physical comedy. It's Chevy Chase at his finest. He's freezing, got a pink turban on. He gets those old reels.
Fur coat.
He's feeling emotional. Yeah. And then he goes into so many extremes. And it's just because he wants that perfect family Christmas.
Yeah.
You feel so many things in this. It's sweet, sad, and I absolutely lose it when he falls through the ceiling.
Yeah.
When he falls through and he has no reaction on his face, to me, it's like, that's top tier. Top of it right there. Top of the mountain for comedy. But yeah, that's probably my favorite scene other than Lewis at the end. Oh, that's not the freaking Christmas star, Clark. That's the sewage plant. Whatever he says.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder about that attic scene. I wonder if that's just our way or giving us an opportunity to question whether the magic we chase at Christmas as adults and the magic we try to create and we run ourselves ragged every year trying to create and spending money we don't have and going into debt and creating chaos. Why do we do it? And I wonder if that shows that we have this nostalgia for our own childhood Christmases. The way Clark looks at that home movies and he's just like, I just want to give my kids what I felt I had. Do you think that's maybe what it is?
I think it probably is. It's got to be. It's got to be, because as an adult, we don't necessarily feel that way.
Yeah, no one's creating that magic for us anymore.
For us. Maybe that's our next business venture. Maybe we start making Christmas for people.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what event planners are for, I think. They're like, you go, okay, can I hire catering so I don't have to cook? Can I hire a decorator so I don't have to decorate? And can I hire a personal shopper to make sure that everybody on my Christmas list gets what they want? We just all need to have the funds to do it, right?
I was just going to say, you know what? You made this sound a whole lot more expensive and more work than what I was expecting. So
yeah.
Scratch that idea. We'll take that off the record. What else you got to say about Christmas Vacation before we get out of here?
Okay, so I got a couple things. This might be like a little scattered. I don't know where this falls into, where this has gone. But one is I want to talk about the Margot and Todd, the childless dinks next door. Because I kind of love the play on what it's like for Clark and Ellen over here on this side to be like, we're all about the family. We're all about the traditions. It's messy, right? It's expensive. It's all these things going on. And that's relatable, even if it is exaggerated. But it's like, we just want something amazing for our family. We want our parents who are elderly. Everyone can relate to the parents showing up, right? And they're like, took someone else's fluid out of my back, and they're talking about their medical thing. Everyone can relate to that because we're at the age now, you and I, where our parents are starting to talk to us like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then it's the kids. You still have young children you're trying to make magic for. So you've got this on one side, and then you've got the neighbors, Margot and Todd, and they're like not even setting up a Christmas tree. They don't have children. They've got all the money in the world. They've got a modern house with the most expensive technology equipment that the 90s can offer.
Yeah.
And they're in their, tinfoil sweatsuits, whatever that's called. So you've got this extreme, right? But they're not having a less messy Christmas over on their side, and they get just as stressed and uncomfortable as this side. What did you think about that play of Margot and Todd and the family?
Well, in some ways, it's like you see Clark Griswold and you see the exact opposite. So maybe there's jealousy. I see it as, oh man, Margot and Todd, they don't have any responsibilities. They get to go work out, do whatever at whatever time of the day they want. So maybe there's a little jealousy there, but yeah, I love the dynamic. You know what? Funny story, because my wife and I actually have matching shirts, Christmas shirts, and one of them says, "Why is the carpet wet, Todd?" And the other one says, "I don't know, Margot." And that's what we wear.
That's right. Yep.
And most people get it. They read that and they understand. They get it, and they're like, they crack up, of course. But Julia Louis-Dreyfus is Margot.
Dreyfus. Maybe pre-Seinfeld, we think. That was my guess.
It would have been close. It would have been probably, maybe she's going into season 1 or already in season 1, but it would have been real close on the years. But
she's comedy gold, comedy legend, comedy queen. I absolutely worship the ground she walks on.
There's another line from the movie that I love, and it's the bend over and I'll show you. You got some nerve talking to me like that, Griswold. I wasn't talking to you. I love that part. That's another one. So
whole subplot going on with the neighbors over there, and they're getting trashed by the Griswolds, and Griswolds barely notice that they're over there. But I love that dynamic back and forth. The other thing was, I wanted to point out one little fudge in the movie was Ellen's line where she says at the end, she meets the boss's wife and says, "Pleasure. This is our family's first kidnapping," is what she says. And that is not technically true. And I want to point that out because they kidnapped Lasky in Vacation, John Candy.
That's
Wally
right.
World. It's not their family's first kidnapping.
That's a nice error right there. Look at that. That's a dedicated fan to National Lampoon in general. Vacation movies.
Whether I like it or not, it was played in my house constantly, so I had to be, right? Yeah.
It is. This movie is a holiday staple. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not Christmas time until you put it on anymore. Like, it's got to be there. What else? Were you done on the Christmas Vacation?
Oh, they did film a couple of the scenes in Breckenridge, Colorado. The ones that were like outdoor scenes. And I have been to Breckenridge, Colorado. We stayed there a few years ago when my son's birth mom was getting married there, and it's gorgeous. So little plug for Breckenridge. It's amazing place to go visit. So if you ever have the chance, go spend a weekend or a week there. It's lovely.
Maybe someday we'll be giving away packages. Like, we'll have a join Just Blane and Coco in Breckenridge for the weekend.
Oh my gosh, 100%. I would be there in a heartbeat. It would be so fun.
I mean, I don't want people to get it twisted, but I'm not paying for it. Somebody else gonna have to pay for it. But
little sponsorship deal. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Hey, little shout out. If you need us there to do a little promos, we'll do it. We'll go. I'll go.
Maybe we go up there and host a Christmas Vacation showing. That'd be awesome.
That would be so fun.
We could do that. Final thought for me on this movie is it balances chaos and sentiment all together, and I think that's what the magic of the holidays is. That's the magic of this movie. That's the magic of a lot of holiday movies. We see it across the board. Home Alone, pure chaos. Krampus, even. And I know people are going to laugh, but if you watch the first 30 minutes of Krampus, it is full-blown inspired by Christmas Vacation. Like, the dynamic. You got a cousin Eddie. You got this. You got almost a Clark. Krampus is another one I love. But it is the balance of the chaos and the meaning. Trying to give it all meaning and make it special. That's what it is. That's what the joy of the season and all that stuff. That's what it really comes down to for me. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
ahead.
You nailed it. It is sentiment too, because you do feel for like Eddie's kids not having a Christmas, and when Clark and Ellen had that conversation where they're like, they're not going to have any presents this year. We got to do something to help them out, and so they do what they have to do for those kids. There's parts where it actually tears me up a bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah.
watch it if you haven't. Go watch more Parallel Frequencies if you haven't. We're gonna keep doing this, and I gotta say that this was a momentous occasion for myself and Coco, because we've done probably 2-3 dozen movies, but they all were horror movies or were witch movies or were ghost related. We did have some family stuff with Kiki and the anime stuff, but that was like a special. This is our first movie we really broke down that wasn't a scary one. unless you're scared of family chaos, then this is a terrifying movie. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. We've hit a milestone.